All right, part 2 on Israel, conflict and war, and America going through the ringer, the world going through the ringer, and those different things. Okay, so the Pale horse rider is tied to that Palestine. The Pale is time, and we had the Hurricane Hill, and this is tied to the Jack and Jill going up the hill. The Jack is tied to the 10, AC, the Antichrist, K, the K is the 11. Over and out. The over and out's tied to the 10-4 for that alarm that nobody seemed to catch on. And then you have Trump's trial. The speaker goes out. The alarm goes off. Trump releases nuclear sub information. The stock market closes on Friday at 33119. Okay, the 311 and 9/11 reflection. We're looking for that speaker 9/11, that 119. Trump is at 45. That brings back that 9/11 and that reflection. But the death and hell rider are coming. And then once we get to that 89 point, 10-9 is the secret hidden 89 door, because Octo is 8. All right, this is all in the first video. But as that 89 approaches for that King Spirit, this is when Trump rides all 4 beasts, okay? And the Speaker of the House is a great opportunity for him to have that mouth to speak. And what happens when the president goes missing and Kamala comes into power? Okay? Then you have Trump and her going and battling, all right? And then what happens when Kamala goes missing? You have Trump regaining his throne. And that's where he can get his 3 presidencies in one man, the 3-in-1, and those types. It's actually the one that he's riding, per se, that he's getting back, that he should have never had taken from him. Okay, that stolen inheritance kind of thing. He's taking that back in that aspect. And then he would be getting his 2 presidencies after that. All right. But the way he's going to set it up for a way that the men aren't going to necessarily like, and they're going to, it's going to be it's going to be a little bit of confusion for people. Okay. We'll see how he works this still, but his main purpose there is to divide. Okay. And one way he could do that is by acting as the Don and coming and do that Gore Don event where he has that white glove and no one can do what the Don can do. And as the Speaker of the House, we might see that Boondock Saints kind of episode where he does the double back shot on both of them, or maybe just one, or maybe Kamala gets Michelle Obama or whoever else up there to help her. And this could be kind of when that sun goes dark and then he does that thing, and that's that dark dawn and the Rambo dawn and all those other things, okay? Otherwise, it could be like where he's grazed in the head and then he gets up and does whatever's kind of thing. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's get back on the Pale Horse Rider and stuff, because we have Mike Lindell coming up and setting up things. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she connects to Taylor Swift, and the March Jew Ray, but she also connected to the Mark of the Beast way back then. And what they do is they give points of truth. Okay, they tell people what's going on, but they just don't report on it. You have to search for that truth. Jesus says you have to search for truth. So that's part of that, because the world is given the lie. So around 10-5, that's Kelsey's birthday. Taylor Swift's been going back and forth with this guy, but Travis Kelce and Aaron Rodgers, they got the mustache, the Musk stash. And then the stash is also tied to the hidden doors for October, for the Octo. They were talking about the Vax Wars and Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, all these things are coming up, okay? So this can tie into where the people they need their information to show what they've had, or they need to prove that they didn't take anything or whatever, right? To get you access to go and buy and sell. Okay, because we're going to be setting up things to buy and sell. We've always had these things to buy and sell. The credit cards track your buying and selling and all this other stuff. Okay, so this is where the mark of the beast comes in, because the beasts are so left behind. I'm going to be nice here. They're so left behind that they cannot figure out how technology, and they can't figure out what's going on. So they leave everything behind and they cast everything to the ground, and they're cast to the ground because they end up dying. All right, because they can't eat or drink or live or whatever, because they've forsaken everything, and they think they're going to hell, and they're living in hell and all this other stuff. So oh man, y'all. So there's going to be these things playing out, and the people are going to be rising against each other, and it's going to be through the things setting up. So Taylor Swift, it's being talked about how people are going to her concert and they're having like some memory loss, dementia, whatever thing's kind of going on there, all right? Amnesia kind of stuff, all right? This ties to that frequency stuff that I was talking about in another video, okay? But Spider-Man movie, they made a comment about people getting sick about 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, okay? Since then, I have seen that movie, and there is a very loud, high-pitched noise in there where if you were in the theater, thank God I did not see that movie in the theater, okay? Because I would immediately went, my God, what the fuck are they doing to me? Okay, it was like that kind of thing. All right, and this is kind of a test on people also, because your phone's listening to what the hell you're doing and what you're saying, and if you move and whatever kind of thing. All right. So there's been other movies that has this very high-pitched noise, okay, and this is not one that used to be there. Okay, so Exorcist is coming out, and the X ear assist, or the X ear assist, all these things, okay? It's tying in a couple things, but I don't know if there's a loud noise in this show, but if there is, or how they're saying to watch Barbie and Oppenheimer together, those types of things, okay? There's a frequency thing going on, or the people going to Taylor Swift or however, okay? If they do like a sound with feedback kind of thing, that feedback, that back when Trump coming, all right, so when you're at a concert or microphone or whatever, the thing that's been implanted, and that dude in the basketball thing, he had that venom thing, that venom face, and that's tied to Spider-Man or whatever. So this can be connecting to that alien symbiosis kind of thing. And the Sigourney Weaver's birthday, I forget what day it's coming, but it's in October, and that's part of the web. And she's tied to the aliens and all those things. But what can be happening is this thing has been growing, whatever thing is or whatever, and these different frequencies can turn it on, and that is what causes crapture or rabies or HIV or whatever, okay? And there's things can be exposed because there are going to be actual things tied to this, because I think what things were put in may be passed through butt sex and other kinds of things, and this is where the sins are going to be exposed, where it's going to turn out like more straight people butt fuck than the gay people, okay? And if you've I've been in a salon almost my entire life, and I've been around those types of individuals of all sorts of shapes and sizes, okay? I've been around the filthy ones, and I've been around the clean ones per se, okay? And not all of them do it up the ass, all right? So I've probably known more straight people that do it up the ass than the gay people, all right? In my personal experience. And I've always been there for the octo pussy. Anyway, Uh, the Octopussies before you. All right, for this October, Trump's been with Mary. Joe Biden, he has to take care of that pregnant wife, and he has to deliver her in the end. And in the end, is that in? Which one? Anyways, so the Palestine is connected to Ukraine being taken off the balance as well. And there's two pairs of balances, and the pairs of balances control the old, and then one controls the new, and the house of cards is set on these and all those little different things. So the time of affliction would be coming up. We've passed one time of affliction when all the douchebags were wearing the affliction shirts and such, okay? Some people are still doing it. Hope not. Either way, the affliction would be where the people stop watching movies and those types of things, or they stop going to the movies because of these sounds and the frequencies, and those types of things. So we'll see how all that kind of works out. But the jets were being talked about with Taylor Swift also. So we can expect maybe some jets to fly over for America, maybe to attack it, or maybe to do the other 9/11 style thing or whatever. But I do see America being invaded and having a flyover, like maybe up the middle or whatever, and kind of dismantling the infrastructure in one way, shape, or form. And that would be maybe more, that could be in the future. I'm not saying that that's like this week or whatever, but this is as the war and stuff is setting up and coming, because the World War III is going to be very fast and sweet. And it's going to rock America. This is when America is going to be attacked. And this is when we are going to get earthquakes of all shapes and sizes. And we're going to get real earthquakes, and we're going to get like spiritual earthquakes. We're going to get money earthquakes. We're going to get market, or not market, but like your stores and such. They're going to close down and everything, okay? And that's going to be more like in your 2024, the 23 year on the 9/11. And that's where I was a little early on those things, but we put the calculations together and putting it all, and it's all lining up perfect, folks, okay? And we have very little time to wake the people up. And one last note, the monoliths in 2020, all right, 11/18 is associated with that. Now 11/18/23 is associated with the middle of the 70 weeks of Daniel, the middle time frame, using a 7-day week count. We are in the 5-day week count already. We already passed that. So so the monolith showed up just out of nowhere. This can be tying to the aliens or the disc, Jesus showing up out of nowhere. All right. And this could maybe be on 11/18, the middle of that time frame. And then maybe some of us are taken up or transformed or whatever. And then we're given new powers, and we're coming here to start the new times. All right. And then just however it goes. Or we're actually taken into the ships, and then they go through their tribulation, and we come back down after those years. And then that's when they've had their time to realize what was going on. But we'll see how all those things work out. But it's very possible that the aliens arrive between this 10/9/23 and 1/8/23, or 1/8/24. I'm sorry. Okay, the 289 cycles. All right, and I'm going to